Hello and a very warm welcome to Grow English Mastery. My name is Scarlett, and today we need to talk about a word. It is a word so serious, so powerful, that it is almost never used in modern American politics. It describes the most serious crime a citizen can possibly commit against their country. That word is treason. Yesterday, on July 22, 2025, that word was spoken in a way that sent shockwaves across the United States and around the world. The accusation was made by a sitting president, Donald Trump, against a former president, Barack Obama. This is a moment without precedent in American history. Today, we are going to unpack this explosive and unprecedented event. What exactly did President Trump accuse former President Obama of doing? What is the real legal definition of treason, and why is this accusation so extraordinary? What does this moment tell us about the state of politics in America today? Our learning goals for this lesson are to navigate this political firestorm together. First, we will understand the details of this historic accusation and the context surrounding it. Second, we will learn 10 essential vocabulary words that are key to understanding high-stakes political conflicts. Third, we will master 2 crucial grammar points for analyzing news and opinions, using modal verbs of speculation to discuss motivations, and using specific reporting verbs to describe what people say. And finally, you'll get some practical tips on how to use this language yourself. This is a lesson about the power of words and the deep divisions in modern politics. Let's get started. Part 1. The Bombshell Accusation. Our story begins yesterday morning, on July 2020. While speaking to reporters at the White House, President Trump was asked a question about his ongoing political battles. In his response, he made his most inflammatory accusation to date. He directly accused his predecessor, former President Barack Obama, of committing treason. This was not a casual remark, it was a direct and repeated statement. The accusation stunned the political world. In a democracy, it is normal for politicians to disagree, even very strongly. But to accuse a former president of treason, which is punishable by death under U.S. law, is to cross a line that has never been crossed before. It is an unprecedented act. Unprecedented means that something has never happened or existed before. Part 2. What is treason really? The legal definition. To understand why this is so shocking, we need to understand what treason actually means. It is not just a word for someone you disagree with, or someone who you think was a bad president. Treason has a very specific and narrow definition in the United States Constitution, the country's highest law. Article 3. Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution defines treason as only 2 things. First, levying war against the United States. This means actively taking up arms and fighting a war against the country. Second, adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. This means actively helping a declared enemy of the United States. Furthermore, the Constitution states that no person can be convicted of treason unless there are 2 witnesses to the same act, or if the person confesses in open court. The founders of the country made the definition of treason very narrow on purpose. They had just fought a revolution against a king who often accused his political opponents of treason just for disagreeing with him. They wanted to make sure that in the new United States, treason could not be used as a political weapon. So, When we look at this strict legal definition, legal experts and historians from all political sides have been quick to point out that whatever political disagreements President Trump has with former President Obama, they do not come close to the constitutional definition of treason. This is why the accusation is seen not as a legal claim, but as a powerful and dangerous piece of political rhetoric. Part 3. The context and the reaction. Why would a president make such a serious and legally unsupported accusation? This is where we need to look at the context. This event comes during a period of intense political polarization in the U.S. President Trump is known for his inflammatory and incendiary rhetoric. Inflammatory or incendiary language is language designed to make people very angry. Many political analysts believe this accusation is a political tactic. They speculate that the president might be trying to rally his most passionate supporters, create a distraction from other issues, or delegitimize his political opponents in the strongest way possible. The reaction to President Trump's comments was immediate and intense. Democrats were outraged. They called the accusation a grotesque and dangerous abuse of presidential power. They argued that it was an attack not just on Barack Obama, but on the democratic norms and institutions of the country. A democratic norm is an unwritten rule of political conduct that is considered essential for a democracy to function, such as the peaceful transfer of power or the respect for former presidents. The reaction from the Republican Party was more mixed. Some of the president's strongest allies defended his comments, while many other mainstream Republicans remained silent, likely unwilling to either support such an extreme accusation or to publicly criticize a president from their own party. Legal experts, as we discussed, were nearly unanimous in stating that the accusation has no basis in law. They warned that using words like treason carelessly can be dangerous, as it can incite anger and potentially even violence. Now, to help us understand the language of this political firestorm, let's learn some key vocabulary. 1. Treason noun. The crime of betraying one's country, for example, by attempting to kill the sovereign or overthrow the government. Spelling: Treason. Example 1. The president accused his predecessor of treason. Example 2. In the United States, treason is the only crime defined in the Constitution. 2. Accusation noun. A claim or statement that someone has done something illegal or wrong. Spelling: Accusation. Example 1. The accusation of treason is unprecedented. Example 2. He denied the accusations against him. Verb form: to accuse. 3. Unprecedented adjective: never having happened or been known before. Spelling: Unprecedented. Example 1. This is an unprecedented moment in American political history. Example 2. The company has seen unprecedented growth this year. 4. Inflammatory adjective, likely to cause anger or violence. Spelling: Inflammatory. Example 1. The president is known for his inflammatory rhetoric. Example 2. His speech was full of inflammatory comments that angered the crowd. Synonym: incendiary. 5. Rhetoric noun. Speech or writing intended to be effective and persuasive. It can sometimes have a negative meaning, suggesting language that is not sincere. Spelling. rhetoric. Example 1. We need to look beyond the political rhetoric and focus on the facts. Example 2. Her speech was a powerful piece of rhetoric. 6. Allegation noun. A claim, made without giving proof, that someone has done something illegal or wrong. Spelling. allegatation. Example 1. This is a very serious allegation to make against a former president. Example 2. The newspaper printed the allegations, but the official denied them. 7. To levy war, verb phrase. This is a formal legal phrase from the Constitution meaning to start or carry on a war. Spelling. levywar. Example 1. The legal definition of treason includes the act of levying war against the United States. Example 2. The rebel leader was charged with trying to levy war against the state. 8. High crime noun phrase. A serious crime, especially one committed by a person in a position of public trust. Spelling. highcrime. Example 1. Treason is considered the highest of high crimes. Example 2. The Constitution says a president can be impeached for treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. 9. Democratic norms noun phrase. The unwritten rules and standards of behavior that are considered essential for a democracy to function properly. Spelling. democraticnorms. Example 1. Critics say the accusation is an attack on democratic norms. Example 2. Respecting the results of an election is a fundamental democratic norm. 10. Incendiary adjective. Tending to stir up conflict, designed to cause anger. Spelling. incendiary. Example 1. His incendiary speech was widely condemned. Example 2. The situation is already tense, so please avoid making incendiary remarks. Incendiary is a very strong synonym for inflammatory. Now let's look at the grammar we need to analyze this very complex and speculative situation. Our first grammar point today is modal verbs of speculation. When we don't know the exact reason why something happened, but we want to make logical guesses about the motivations, we use modal verbs like must, may, might, and could. We use must when we feel very certain about our guess based on the evidence. Example. He made the accusation publicly, so he must be trying to send a strong message to his supporters. We use may, might, or could when we think something is a possibility, but we are less certain. Example. Political analysts think he might be trying to distract from other news stories. Example. This new controversy could become a major issue in the next election. Example. The strategy may not work as he intends. These verbs are essential for political analysis because we are often trying to understand the hidden reasons behind a person's actions. Our second grammar point is using specific reporting verbs like accuse, claim, allege, and deny. When we report on a conflict, using a precise verb is much more powerful than just saying he said or she said. To accuse someone of plus, gerund, to say that someone has done something wrong. Example. President Trump accused Obama of committing treason. To claim that. To state that something is true, typically without providing evidence. Example: Democrats claimed that the accusation was a political stunt. To allege that. This is a more formal version of claim, often used in legal or journalistic contexts. Example: The report alleges that the official broke the law. To deny that, to state that something is not true. Example: The former president's office denied the allegations completely. Using these specific verbs makes your reporting of events more accurate and professional. To finish our lesson, I want to share an inspirational story from ancient history about a great thinker who faced false, politically motivated accusations with incredible dignity and integrity. This is the story of the trial of Socrates. Socrates was a philosopher who lived in ancient Athens around 400 BC. He didn't write any books. Instead, he spent his life in the public squares of Athens, questioning people about their beliefs. He challenged every politicians, poets, and ordinary citizens to think more deeply about concepts like justice, virtue, and truth. His famous method of constant questioning, the Socratic method, made many powerful people in the city look foolish. They grew to resent him. When Socrates was 70 years old, his enemies brought official charges against him. The accusations were vague and political. They accused him of corrupting the youth and not believing in the gods of the city. These were serious charges, and the penalty was death. At his trial, Socrates did not behave like a typical defendant. He did not beg for his life or try to gain the sympathy of the jury. Instead, he used his trial as his final, greatest opportunity to teach. He defended his life's work, arguing that his questioning was not corrupting, but was a public service that made Athens a better, more thoughtful city. He argued that it was his duty to his god to be a gadfly, a small, annoying insect that stings a lazy horse to wake it up. He was the gadfly, and Athens was the lazy horse. The jury, made up of 501 Athenian citizens, found him guilty by a narrow margin. They then had to decide on his punishment. His accusers asked for the death penalty. Socrates was given the chance to propose an alternative punishment. In a final act of defiance and irony, he suggested that his punishment should be a great reward, free meals at the public's expense for the rest of his life, as a thank you for his service to the city. This angered the jury, and they voted for the death penalty by a much larger margin. Socrates accepted their verdict calmly. His friends arranged an escape plan, but he refused to go into exile. He argued that as a citizen, he had an obligation to obey the laws of his city, even when those laws were being used unjustly against him. He drank the poison hemlock and died, surrounded by his friends, talking about philosophy until the very end. Socrates' story is a powerful testament to the importance of integrity in the face of false accusations and political pressure. He chose to die for his principles rather than compromise his values. We have explored an unprecedented and deeply serious political event today. Let's summarize our key takeaways. First, we learned about President Trump's shocking and historically unprecedented accusation of treason against former President Barack Obama, and we understood why this is so significant by looking at the actual legal definition of treason. Second, We learned 10 essential vocabulary words for high-stakes political debate, including treason, unprecedented, inflammatory, and democratic norms. Third, we mastered 2 important grammar points for analyzing the news, using modal verbs of speculation to discuss motivations, and using specific reporting verbs like accuse and claim to describe what people say. The story of this accusation is about more than just 2 individuals. It is about the power of words, the fragility of democratic norms, and the deep divisions that can exist in a society. It is a moment that historians will study for many years to come. Thank you so much for joining me for this very serious and complex lesson. By learning to discuss these events, you are developing a truly advanced and powerful command of the English language. Please let us know your respectful thoughts in the comments below. And please, don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to Grow English Mastery for more lessons that tackle the important topics shaping our world. Keep learning, stay curious, and I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson. Goodbye for now.